I don't know if y'all can see the flies out this morning, but coming out here for an easy stroll. Wanted to put in about 5 miles today, and I get back here and these flies are so bad. Get out here in the sun. Maybe y'all can see them. I'm having to push this pace a little harder than I want to. I've done killed like 7 or 8 of these, and it seems like more keep showing up. So may get back out on the blacktop today instead of running through these woods, because this is terrible. And they're like that all behind me. Probably at 15 I've killed now, but anyways, golly. Still got to get the miles in. Just might have to do it somewhere different. But I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Maybe not, but maybe the next time I run. Whew. Everywhere, son. I just killed 2 in one smack. But out here, getting the miles in. Almost dropped my phone, but I just finished up a 4-miler. I was gonna go 5 today, and then, you know, as you've seen in the video, the flies were very, very bad, and so I pushed that pace way harder than I wanted to for a 5-mile run. Like, I wanted today to be a pretty easy run, and I'll throw up my splits in a minute. But I had a 9:44 for my first mile, a low 9, like a 9:04 for my second mile, and then the third mile the flies were the worst, and I ran an 8:17 on my third mile, and that's cooking for me, especially even on a 2-mile run. A low 8-minute pace is pretty hot for me, and so to do that after running 2 miles already. See, I'm coming down my driveway now and still killing flies. And then after the 3rd mile, I was done, man. I cruised through the 4th one at 8:52. I really wanted to relax on the 4th, but I checked my pace at 3 miles and it was 3.18. And I had a time of 28 minutes and 48 seconds. So I'll probably would have ran a 27-minute 5K this morning if I just, stopped at the 5K distance. And 27 minutes for a 5K is pretty hot for me as well. And I seen that and I was like, crap, dude. It's like I'm going faster than I thought I was. And so I kind of wanted to maintain that a little bit. So pushed the 4th mile slightly, and it was a pretty good run, but I'm dead, man. I really didn't want to push it that hard, but it is 6:59 in the morning. Woke up at 5 this morning. Didn't get out of bed until almost 5:30 because I kind of nodded back off. And then took Mom to work. Had to use the bathroom and stuff. Stomach was a little rumbly this morning. And then it was 6:20 when I finally got out here. But there we go. Here's 4 miles put in for today. I've got to go check game cameras. Got to go take my dog Blue to the vet, get her shots. I have to go get my oil changed and my tires rotated on my truck today. Might do a little bit of deer scouting as well. I don't know, I got a busy day ahead of me, but I've also got a fun day. May try to get my hair cut too, because this much on the runs is getting to be a little warm. And the flies, man, they'll get stuck in the hair, around my ears. They'll fly up in there and get stuck. And so it's in my ears. They were flying up my nose today and in my eyes. I had to keep blinking. I'd reach around to scratch my back, and I'd pull my hand around and have multiple flies, stuck between my fingers. There's a few times I'd reach back there and smack 2 in one go. The flies, the flies were different today, man. But anyways, I'm gonna get on about my day, go home and take a shower and whatnot, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. So I made it out here to check a game camera with Blue. Here, come here, Blue. Hey, Blue. But you know, I wanted to talk about getting adapted to the heat on my way out here. So, you know, I work an outside job, obviously, and I'm around a lot of trades workers who also spend a lot of time outside. And so far this summer, people have just been like, oh man, it's so hot. Everybody's been complaining about how hot it is. Don't get me wrong, it's pretty warm. I mean, we've already seen like close to 100-degree temps. And it's just now at the end of June, I think. Humidity's been pretty high this year. And like yesterday we built a service on the building, put up a meter base and the panel on the inside, and then ran 2 circuits on the inside. And at the end of that job, I wrung my shirt out like a wet towel. I'm not playing. And then my pants, I sweat all the way through my pants, front and back, all the way down my leg. Like both quads, I had a line, you know, coming down where my pants was stuck to my leg. And so I'm like sweating profusely, but to be honest, it doesn't feel that hot. So I wonder if the, you know, running in the heat has something to do with that, you know, to make me sort of like adapted to it. Because everybody else seems to be hurting pretty bad this summer. And, you know, I'm not going to act like it doesn't faze me. I'm sure I slow down a little bit, and, you know, it's not like I'm comfortable out there. I'm definitely like uncomfortable. But it just doesn't seem as bad as everybody else is making it out to be. And to be honest, I used to be one of the biggest complainers about heat. You know, it used to suck the life out of me. I hate the heat and the humidity. But, you know, this year I get off work and I come home and put in a run at, you know, 4:30, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And that's pretty bad. But I wonder if that makes the rest of, you know, the time spent in the heat not so bad. I text a buddy of mine about it, and he said, like, your heart and like your sweat glands and everything get super conditioned to, well, they get conditioned to like the super high body heat during those runs, which makes sense. And then he said part of it was probably a mental aspect too, because, you know, when a lot of these guys get off work, they don't go home and go for a run, you know, in the beaming down sun. They're probably gonna, you know, sit inside in the AC, you know, watch TV and whatnot. So, you know, that's what I got. That's my thoughts on the getting adapted to the heat, because temp-wise, it's been pretty hot this year, and, you know, I've been sweating a crap ton, but I haven't really walked outside and been like, oh, that sucks, man. I don't want to be out here. It's just kind of, I don't know, it's just kind of like, you know, walk outside and it's a little warm. It's part of it. Hey, Blue. Just sucked up a bug. Hey, Blue, what are you doing? Blue loves checking trail cameras with me. Gosh, these flies. So, even right now, I'm sweating pretty bad, but I'm just sweating. I don't really feel the heat all that much. But anyways, I'll catch you guys tomorrow. I want to touch on the heat thing real quick before we get too far from that. I don't want to put out the image that, you know, I'm like Superman or like David Goggins after running that Moab 240. And they asked him, you know, how did the heat affect your race? And he goes, what heat? They're like, it's hot out here, David. And he's like, I didn't even feel it. Let's see. I think it was yesterday at work as well. It was either yesterday or Thursday. We were hooking up a generator, and pulling like 600 amp wire through like a 2-inch pipe, and that was a very, very stout pull. And to be honest with you, I don't think I was too far away from throwing up during that. I was bent over trying to push the wire down the pipe, and the other guys were pulling on it from the other end. And I thought to myself, I was like, I'm going to throw up in a few minutes if this doesn't start going any smoother. But I kept everything down, and we got the wire pull done. But it's like I walk outside, and I don't know. Usually the heat is like the first thing on my mind. And, like I said a few minutes ago, I used to be the biggest complainer about heat and the humidity. It used to, just suck the energy out of me. I hated our Kentucky humidity. The high today was 94 with a real feel of like 104 at like 6 o'clock this afternoon. But I walk outside, and, coming from in the house, I'm like, okay, it's a little warm out here. And then, I break a sweat 5 minutes later, and then I'm sort of, comfortable. Not necessarily comfortable, but, I'm not as conscious of the heat. All of this work week, I've noticed more that I'm sweating, or I've paid more attention to how much I'm sweating than, the heat. Like the heat is not the most prevalent thing on my mind, I guess is what I'm trying to put out there. But I'll tell you what, got out here today. I've put in like 30 or 35 pull-ups. I just did a few sets of 5. I sat down and was kind of rolling out my quads with the catch pins for my squat rack. And I was like, nah, let's go a little more intense today. So I grabbed the barbell, and I'll be honest with you, this is one of the most painful things that I've ever done. I would almost rather do, 3 max sets of 20 on squat back to back to back than, do 3 sets of this. This is excruciatingly painful. When I was younger, me and my brother and, some of our friends and stuff used to do this thing. We would dead leg each other. And, somebody's sitting down on a chair. You walk up and you just absolutely punch them in like the edge of the quad and on the IT band as hard as you can. And dude, that'll fold anybody up. Well, when I grab this barbell and set it up there and start going to work, I feel like my legs have been beat with a baseball bat and they're bruised, and I'm rolling a barbell across that bruising. This is, horrendous. I've got knots everywhere under my quads. There's a pretty bad one on both sides, sort of high up on the leg, and it's right on the edge of the IT band and the quad. It's almost about where your pocket sits. I guess it'd kind of depend on what clothes you're wearing, but on these shorts here, it's pretty close to, where the edge of my pocket sits. It's just like on my left leg, it's the top left edge of the quad, just kind of in that pocket area, maybe a little lower. And, same thing on the right leg, except it's, the top right corner of my quad. That is almost untouchable. Go down a little farther, and in the middle of my quad, there's a knot somewhere deep down in there. A lot of these pressure points feel to be pretty deep in the muscle. It feels like I'm mashing it up against the bone. It feels very, very deep, and golly, dude. So I took the catch pins over my legs probably 2 or 3 times over each leg, and then I grabbed the barbell, and I may have made it 3 sets per leg. I was trying to, roll it over a knot and then contract the quad for 5 seconds and relax, contract for 5 seconds and relax. But there are some spots on my legs that, that was almost too much. Like I really couldn't do it. I'd have to pick up on the barbell. And if I like relaxed too quick and the barbell had that sudden drop, dude, oh my gosh. Like that little bounce, insanely painful. And then, after I did that, I was kind of walking around out here, and it seems that I've flushed a lot of that soreness up. So I started squatting with a barbell, did a handful of sets of 5 and 10 just to pump some blood into the legs, and my quads were sore. It felt like I hit a heavy squat workout yesterday, which I did not. It was just all the damage and pain that I sort of stirred up with the barbell. So anyways, I'll catch you guys tomorrow. I appreciate you watching.